What's up, guys? I'm your host, Tait Offwallow, and this is my lovely wife, Noelle Offwallow, and we are the AF5.
Ooh.
Woo, woo,
Yes.
woo.
Before we begin, let's do the most important thing. Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome. All right. We are back. We're excited. This is episode 3, part dose. We're super excited. And the reason why we're doing a part 2 is because all of you guys wanted a part 2. So woo.
Thank you.
Shout out to our new fans and our new family. This is amazing.
We appreciate the feedback.
Yeah. But before we get started, check it.
We had it up last week,
We did.
but we didn't have it lit up last week. So today we wanted to properly introduce it
Yes.
because it is in its full glory.
Yes, it's our new sign. We got it for Christmas from our amazing cousins, Josh and Mayo. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Super awesome. It wasn't lit up last week because the whole time I thought it was lit up. And when we hit stop recording, I looked and I go, it wasn't on. I'm not re-recording this. Too bad. It is what it is. So here you go, you guys. Look how beautiful it is. We're super excited. It has the top on the back and it has my favorite color, pink. Woo! So we're just gonna get right into it then. Yeah?
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. All right. So picking up where we left off last week, we have 6 new topics. I don't know if we'll get through all of them today with our episode, but we'll try. I promise. Okay. So I want to talk about the first one because we were talking about this earlier. Like, what are some of the things that we can share with others that really worked for us? And we talked about one of our favorites is what we taught the kids since they were babies, or could understand what we were talking about was say, I love you before you leave that other person, whether you're leaving the house, you're getting out of the car, you're walking away from them at a park or whatever it is, say, I love you before you leave that person's company. Yeah.
Knowing the argument wasn't over or
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be an argument.
disagreement or whatever.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be a disagreement.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It could be anything.
Every time.
Every time.
Yeah.
If you ever overhear us talking with our kids on the phone, it's always, okay, cool. All right. Love you. Bye. We always say love you.
Always.
And it's anytime.
Yeah.
Most especially, though, what Tate was referring to is an argument. Because I think that's the hardest time to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's the hardest time to say it.
Yeah.
Especially for me. Not for him. He's a saint, okay?
No.
All right? I said it. Shit.
No, we're just different at it. We're just different. We look at it different. We handle it differently.
I know. You're my saint, though.
That's all.
I know. But, like, you're so amenable and, like, ready to forgive. For me, I'm like, I turn into a monster. So this part, saying I love you when before you leave the company of the other person, you always say I love you. So a lot of times he'll say I love you and I'll be like, I love you too. And then I'll walk out and then I'll fuck her and mumble under my breath. Right?
I can recall a few times a pretty heated argument and then something happened. We had the part and we said I love you. And I remember after I said it, it went away. Like
what went away? Your
the
anger?
argument.
Oh yeah. For you.
No.
Not for me. Takes me a
No,
little bit.
because I remember one time, I can't remember the argument. I just remember saying I love you. It was pretty hot. You sang it back and then us looking at each other and you just start laughing.
Oh yeah. That must have been recent. Because man, oh man, was I on one when we were younger. I wanted to fist fight you all the time.
That's why we're so good together.
Why? Because we can survive each other. You can survive me. Shit. So that's so important, you guys. Say I love you no matter what, because you never know if those are the last words that person is ever going to hear. You never know what's going to happen, right? So that person could walk out the door. You say something mean. They walk out the door. Something bad happens. You never see them again. You get my drift? Right?
Yeah.
So that's one of my biggest fears. So just because I grew up with a lot of death in my family. And so that terrified me when I was younger. So when we had kids, I'm like, that's a rule. And if you walk away and you don't say I love you, I'm going to make you come back and I'm going to make you say it to me. You know what I mean? Or I'm going to make the girls say it to each other even though they were mad at each other, right? Or my son, like everybody has to say that. But it's not just an argument. It's
Every time.
every time.
Yes.
Like the kids just left for London today.
Yeah.
And it was, okay, like text me before you take off. Why are you laughing?
Just because we love those kids so much.
I know. So we always make them,
I don't care how old they'll get.
I know.
They'll still be the
We have a
same.
30-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 19-year-old about to be 20.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bye, love you. Love you, mean it. That's my brother saying, my brother, Donovan. Not my son. I named my son after my brother. But yeah, that's his saying. Love you, mean it. I'll take it. That I will take that too. Right. So say I love you no matter what, no matter how hard it is. Okay.
And try your hardest to mean it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
try your hardest to mean it. I mean, it's so hard sometimes, but
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah, definitely worth it. Okay. You don't want to have regret. Okay. Here's another one that we talked about earlier was give each other space.
Oh,
A good one. Give each other space.
I had to learn that.
I know. Remember when I just said, like, I get hot, I get heated, I get so pissed. I go from 0 to 100 in like -2 seconds. And it's really hard for me. I'm a passionate person, okay? I'm a Sagittarius. My big 3 is all fire signs, okay? So I am very passionate about my opinion. So I want to make sure that, I need space. I can't just go, oh, okay. He says sorry. I don't care at that moment. I don't care. I just don't. Not that I don't care. That's mean. I don't want to hear it. That's not mean.
No, she doesn't care. That's the truth.
Wow.
At the moment, though. At the moment, it's not. I'm waiting patiently.
He wants to fix it like right then and there. Yeah. And sometimes that makes it worse. Would you agree? Mm-hmm. And I'm like,
like I said, we had to learn it from each other because that's the way I was and that's the way you were.
Yeah.
So it was like, it took a little bit,
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Got to give each other space. Now, that's when we're talking about fights, right? But you got to also give each other space socially.
Socially, like personal space.
Yeah. Personal space.
Friends.
That means anything, right? That means I have to be my own person in order to be a good wife to you when we're together as a couple, right? So I want you guys to hear me when I say that. Like, you have to be independent of your significant other so that you can be stronger together. As a couple, right?
Yeah.
Because you wanted to do everything together.
I did.
All the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get your own life. I have friends, damn it. And no, you can't come. And then I would feel bad because he would want to come. And I'm like, it's not personal. Yeah.
I think it had a lot to do with the way I was brought up.
Yeah.
We were always family together constantly.
Yeah, not me. We were like, peace out.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
There were numerous family gatherings. So we were always super tight,
Yeah. And he met me. There you go. And there went the neighborhood.
But I understand it. It makes sense to me. It's huge. And it's good for me too.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. But it was really hard for you at the beginning.
I was lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah. And then he was like shocked. Like, what do you mean you don't want to be with me 24/7, 365 days in the year? And I'm like, you're suffocating me. Right?
We can't hold hands all day, every day.
No. Jesus. Get your own life. We used to fight about that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Because he would get so sad. And I'm like, and then it made me look like an asshole because I'm like, what? I don't want to hang out with him today. I want to go with my bestie. He's like, I can be your bestie. And I'm all, it's not the same. I'm all, when me and Evelyn go to Disneyland, it is not the same.
It's not the same.
We have our dates. Me and Evelyn have our dates, and you and I have our dates.
We do.
It is what it is, right? Me and Tanya will have a date, and you and Anthony can have a date.
Sure.
Right? And that's new. Yeah? Well, fairly new. Not for you.
No.
But yes, I need space. You need space. And it helps you grow. Because then when you come back together, then you can talk about what you did and all that good stuff. But that's a learned behavior.
It is.
And if you're in a situation like that right now,
Mm-hmm.
where the other person constantly has to be with you, that's something that needs to be addressed,
Sure.
right? You need to talk about it. You need to be kind,
Mm.
not like me. I was like, I don't want you to come with me. I just want to be with my friends, right?
Mm.
But that was, I mean, we've been together since forever. So, like, I've learned over the years, like, and now we don't even have that issue.
No.
He's just like, oh, you're going out? Okay, cool. You know, so make sure you give each other space
Yeah.
during fights. Let the other person cool down.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that because that person wants space when you want to go with your friends or you want to take a beat because you guys are fighting, that's not personal to you, right?
Right. Yeah. You're talking about if they're arguing or whatever.
Yeah. Or if I say, hey, I'm going with my friends, and
Yeah.
you say, can I come? And you're like, it's a girl's day or whatever.
Yeah. I
Don't take it personal.
I automatically assume it's because if
Well, you do now, but back in the day, you didn't.
no, I know. Let me finish.
Oh, okay.
No, like I'm just talking about now. And if I'm going with, it's like, hey, we're going to this thing with so and so. Hey, me and Evelyn are there. Oh, date night with the girls, right? Like, it's not a big deal anymore. See, I'm learning.
He ran around the block to go next door on that one. Yeah.
I was just affirming what you were saying.
Ah, okay, cool.
Currently,
All right. What do you think's next? Do you remember?
I don't.
Have fun
Oh, this is a good one.
and laugh a lot.
This is a good one.
Have fun. I'm telling you right now, it's not that serious. If you love each other, it's not that serious, and it shouldn't be that serious, right? And what I mean by have fun, what do you mean? Let me ask you, what do you mean by have fun and laugh a lot? What does that mean to you?
As a couple, like have fun and laugh a lot as a couple. Well, for one, you're the funniest person I know. You're like, you make me laugh like 24/7, like the shit you say, like, and sometimes the shit is serious you say, and I think it's freaking hilarious. So
I have no filter, you guys.
No,
I'm working on it.
yeah,
Val, help me out.
it's getting better.
I told Val, I go, dude, I gave you a shout out. She goes, what? So drop a V for Val, everybody.
Go Val, go Val.
She was shocked. She was like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
That's funny.
So
Yeah, you make me laugh, man, and I know I make you laugh.
yeah.
I know I make you laugh. So that in itself, like the act of making you laugh and hearing you laugh, makes me laugh and gives me the like.
You know what? I just had a brain blast.
Huh.
When I asked you a long time ago, when did you know that you were in love with me? And do you remember what you said?
I think I said you made me laugh. You make me happy. I think it was more of like, I don't know, something around something to that effect. Was it?
Never mind.
It was a long time ago. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Is it something similar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you. I want you to remember.
Oh.
Yeah. If I have to say it, then it doesn't count. No, you said that I think I fell down and then I couldn't stop laughing.
Dude, I think I remember, like, one of the dogs pissed in the walkway at the house, and we didn't see it. Was it Darla? I don't remember. I think it was Darla. We just got her baby, right? We didn't see it, right? And then you got up real quick off the chair, slid on it, and locked yourself in a push-up position. Remember? And I said, babe, you're so pissed, right? And you said, babe, that was the most athletic thing I've ever seen in my life. And that is why I fell in love with you.
Because I'm athletic?
Yeah. I think that was what attracted me to you.
Yeah.
Then I think I told you that.
You've told me that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. That because I was athletic.
Yeah.
I played a lot of sports. I was a competitive cheerleader and a dancer. But I remember you telling me I fell down at the mall back in the day, girls, when they had malls. I mean, they still have malls now, but that was like the place to hang out for us anyway in the 80s and 90s. And I guess I fell down and I just rolled around and kept laughing because I was so embarrassed. But at the same time, that was really funny because if I saw somebody do that, I would laugh. And that's what was making me laugh on the ground, going, I would so laugh at me right now if I wasn't me because that was really fucking funny. And you're like, I was so attracted to you because I would have died. I would have been so embarrassed. I would have ran out of the mall into oncoming traffic.
Yeah.
And I was like, really?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that attract me to you. But yeah.
Yeah, like what?
There's
See
a
how,
lot. There's
see
a
how
lot.
uncomfortable he gets? He like
There-
pauses.
There's a lot of things. Like, yeah.
Share. The people want to know.
I just said you're the most athletic. You would do crazy shit, man. Like stuff I wish I could do.
Like
But
what?
I have not the nerve
Like what?
whatsoever.
Like what?
Like public speaking.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
that shit. I can't.
That shit.
Yeah. I can't
Okay.
stand it.
No.
No.
This podcast was his idea, by the way.
Well, you know, I told you.
What?
I'm trying to get out of that shell.
I know. So have fun.
Yes.
Let's have fun. Let's laugh a lot. Don't take things too seriously. Take things seriously when they're supposed to be serious.
Sure.
Not like me, when things get really serious and he gets really mad, I start to laugh. It's not on purpose. It's because that's the way I cope with stress because of the way I grew up. So it immediately, if things get super intense or he starts shouting, or which is very rare. But when he does, it makes me laugh, and that makes him even more mad. And I'm like, I'm not trying to make fun of you. I just can't help but laugh because things are too intense right now.
Sure.
So anyway, don't do that kind of laughing. Do fun stuff, right? So have fun. Go on dates, right? When we go on our date nights, it could be in the morning. We could go to the gym and have a protein shake afterwards at like the Juice It Up down the street. That's considered a date night. Anything, movie nights, Disney. Well, we have Disney passes. We'll go
Grocery shopping.
Yeah, he hates grocery
stand
shopping.
it.
So I'll go with you, and then we have fun, right? We'll go get a coffee at like, I don't know, what is it called? Crave, and we'll have fun. So have fun. Make it a point to have fun. I'm telling you, this is gold, you guys. Okay. All right. So moving on, we are going to talk about know your role in your relationship.
In the relationship.
Okay, so there's a couple of ways we're going to talk about that. A couple of things we're going to talk about with regards to this. So, for instance, and this is just for an example, being a breadwinner.
Yes.
So, some people have a 2-income household. Some people have one, right? We were always a 2-income family, but I always made the most money, right? I was the major breadwinner, and he never cared. He never cared. You know why? Because if I make more money, that's more money for us. That's not my money, your money. And that's a whole nother Oprah. We're not even going to go into finances today, but that's a whole nother thing. But don't let your ego get in front of your paycheck. You know what I mean? So like for the longest time, I mean, I think forever in the history of us, I've always made 2 to 3 times more than he made. And that's okay. He didn't care because guess what? We were going on vacations. We would get new cars. We would do all kinds of fun stuff with each other, with our family. But he never cared if I made more money. Right? Do you want to say anything about that?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't about that. I never looked at it that way. It was just what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. I mean, we had different career paths. They paid whatever they paid, and there was always these, awkward moments where out of a job, trying to find a job or more stable jobs. There was a lot of those, so whatever I could do, right? Like whatever you can do is what you do, right? Like, and that's how our relationship, it had nothing to do with comparison at all. Yeah.
And that's a good point, because when you start to compare in your relationship, that's a bad sign. That's a red flag. No matter what it is. They're more talented than me. They're more athletic than me. They make more money than me. That's a you thing. That's if you're thinking those things with your significant other and you're listening to this right now, listen to me when I say you need to work on yourself for those emotions that you're having, because it's not your partner's fault. Your partner probably wants you to win And just because you're not making more money than them, or you're not winning awards, or whatever the case is, if you're comparing yourself to your partner, you need to work on yourself, because that's a you thing. That's not a your partner thing. Okay. So we kind of deviated a little bit, but we're still talking about know your role in the relationship. So if your role in the relationship is the major breadwinner, that's cool. If your role in the relationship is the homemaker, that's freaking cool too. Okay. We talked about that last time. And then also too with the housework, right? I repeat, I do not like doing dishes. That is my thing. I would rather scrub a toilet than do the dishes. So we just had a mutual understanding. I will clean the bathrooms. You will clean the kitchen. I also don't like to cook. I hate cooking. You know why? Because I don't have the patience for it. I have zero. Dolph has zero patience for cooking, because I will cook if I'm gonna cook something, I'm cooking everything at once. There's like 4 burners going, the microwave's going, the mixer's going, everything's going at once, because I want it to be done fast.
That's not the way it works.
Yeah, no, duh. I know it doesn't work that way.
Sometimes I think she does that on purpose.
Well, if I am, then it's working. So, kudos to me. I do like to bake, though.
No, I like. Don't get me wrong. She does cook. She's cooked. Yeah, she's baked. I mean, she's just not the normal one in there, right?
I'm not the normal cook.
Well, not the normal. You're not.
I'm not your traditional
you're not in there 24/7. Blah 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 blah. Right?
Some people like you love to cook.
I love it. I enjoy it very much. So.
I just like he looks at me and goes, "How do you do public speaking?"
Yeah.
I just don't get it. Like I would be terrified. It's the same way I look at you and go, "How do you like cooking?" Like it's so boring. Boring. It's so boring, and it takes a long time, and all this work for like a 5-minute meal. Like you eat it in 5 minutes and then it's done.
Yeah.
Oh, the return on investment is just not there for me. I just can't. I'm always like thinking about making money and you know what I mean? And maximizing my time. Yeah. I'm always thinking time is money. Time is money. I cannot make a 7-hour meal that we're going to just eat in 5 minutes. The return on investment is not there for me.
I enjoy it, so we're good.
No, I know that. Well, validate me. Anyway, so just going back to like the household stuff, like he enjoys cooking and I do not. But I enjoy, well, I don't know if I enjoy, but I'm really good at like setting appointments, making sure the bills are paid, and making sure everything's organized and the kids are at their appointments when they need to be, and they're at their sports and blah, blah, blah. So that's my role, and he's okay with that because he doesn't enjoy that. So it's kind of like what we talked about last week when we were talking about, meet your partner where they're at, right? If I'm coming in the door and I'm only at 20%, he's got to pick up the 80%. Remember that? Correct. It's the same thing when you establish your roles in the relationship. Hey, you like to cook? Awesome. Yeah. Guess what? You love to cook, but you hate to grocery shop. Yeah. So if you love to cook, my happy ass is at the grocery store getting the stuff that you need to cook. You see how that works? Yeah. Right? And it's a match made in heaven. Yeah. So if you can establish your roles, what you're good at, what you enjoy. Yeah. See, a lot of people underestimate sitting down and talking about what I want to do in the relationship or what I'm willing to do. Sure. Right? Yeah.
I think a lot of people think there's like a master plan to it, and there isn't.
No, because you have to talk about it.
Yeah, and how else are you supposed to coexist? Yeah. Right? It's just, you figure it out, right? Of course, a conversation would be a lot easier, right? You do this, I do this, you do this. Or there could just be a mutual understanding without either or. You work together, and it's like a match made in heaven, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I think communicating about your role in the relationship is underestimated, and not a lot of people do it.
I agree.
Right? Yeah. It's not like something, we just kind of figured it out. No, like we talk about it. Yeah. I'm like, hey man, I don't like to do this. Yeah. That's one of the, when we got a housekeeper, it took me a long time because I grew up with like, hey man, I can clean my own house. I don't want anybody to clean my house. But then I got really busy. I started traveling a lot, like all over the place. And then when I came home, I didn't want to clean. So again, I'm thinking time is money. So, hey man, if I pay this person to clean my house, that can free me up to do other things. Right? So it's something that you have to talk about.
course.
So we also talked about that. Hey, what do you feel? How do you feel about getting a housekeeper? Right? He was like, yes, finally. Right? So just if you talk about your roles in a relationship, where are your strengths? Where are your weaknesses?
Yeah.
Hey, man, you don't like to organize all this stuff or call customer service or whatever. That's my jam. Run me that customer service number. I will take care of it. What do you need? You need to return something? I'm on it. Right? He hates doing that, but he also doesn't mind washing the clothes. Hey, man, match made in heaven. While I'm over here on customer service, you go do a couple of loads. See how that works? It's perfect. So you guys talk about it. Talk about what your roles are going to be, especially before you get married. Oh my gosh. Don't wait until after you get married and you're like, what the hell?
Right. And they, like I was saying earlier, it don't have to be the typical ones. You're the man, so you have to do this, or you're the woman, so you have to do this. No, it doesn't. It's not like that at all. It's like whatever you feel comfortable with.
That shit's never flown in our house.
No, man, it doesn't work. It's not fair.
Yeah.
It's like it should just be whatever you contribute, you contribute. Right. Like.
Well, yeah, and none of that patriarchy shit was even present in our house.
No, we're a team. We're a team.
Yeah. Nice segue. Look at that. We are a team. That is our next and final topic. Holy shit, that's really good. We're always a team.
Always.
Listen, if you want to make this relationship work, you have to be a team. If you are married and you were listening to this, or you're a young person about to get married, let me tell you, the stuff we're giving to you is gold, okay? Because it's tried and true. It's not some bullshit we just put in a book and we think, oh, this is a good idea. No, we've lived this.
Yeah.
We've lived this horror story. So take it from us. You always have to be a team, even if you don't want to be a team. But if something is really important to that other person, you got to be a team.
You got to be a team.
Especially when you're raising kids.
You got to suck it up. You got to suck it up. I mean, there's days, I'm sure there's going to be days where you're like, I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it today, right? But it's got to get done, and that's your responsibility, right? That's your end that you said you were going to take care of. So you got to take care of it, right? Like you got to pull your weight. You got to be and everyone has a role. That's what we were, like you mentioned earlier, it's a team. It's a team effort. Everyone has their role, so everyone has to do their part. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you now. Because, no, you're fine. Yeah. You're fine. But so you're talking about like everybody rowing in the same direction.
Yeah, big time.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what we talk about in our family. Like, hey man, if someone steps out of line, like we're all doing something, right? Let's just say, for instance, we're all cleaning the house. It's like a Saturday, right? The kids are young, right? Everybody's doing their work. And one of us is like kicking it, watching a movie or whatever. That person's not rowing in the same direction the rest of us are. And that's not how we roll in this family. Yeah. Right. So you got to be a team. That's awesome. That's an awesome point. When you're raising kids.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You have to be a united front. So this is where I was going with this. If you're already married and have kids, or you're about to get married and you want to have kids, or you're a single parent and you want to raise a kid, but you're maybe, you're raising them with your parents, right? Takes a village. Right? We know that for sure. Everybody has to be a united front. You cannot say, oh yeah, like my dad will always say yes, right? Or my mom will always say yes, right? That's not how it works, right? You guys have to, like us, like let's just talk about us. Yeah. We are always a united front. Not 99.9% of the time we're a united front. But that 0.01% that we're not, there's a reason for it, right? Yeah. Like, can you think of any reason why we
No, because we hardly ever.
Like, hardly ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I can think of maybe one. I mean, I know there's several, but like one in particular, like, if the kids wanted to go somewhere and you're like, no, because, this and that. And you're like, and I'm like, okay, well, they get good grades. They're respectful. They've been doing this, blah, blah, blah. Like, what are the reasons why do you not want them to go? So we talk about it. Sure. Not in front of the kids.
No, that's our discussion.
Never in front of your kids. Right? So we're always a united front in that regard. Yeah. And I'm like, walk me through why this decision was made. You see what I'm saying? Yes. 9 times out of 10, I'm agreeing with you. Yeah. But the one time I don't agree with you, or vice versa, walk me through why you made this decision. Yeah. And then if it still makes sense, then
we stay together.
We stay on it. Yeah. Right? And if it doesn't and we disagree, we talk about it, and then we say, okay, how can we come to a consensus? Yeah. Not in front of the kids, though.
No. Always just between us.
Yeah.
Because we're a united front in front of them.
Right. That way they can't pit us against each other. Oh, they've tried. Like one will go ask one, the other one will go ask the other one. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Not that they pit us against each other, but like an example of we were a united front. We were adamant about the kids not having, particularly the girls, because I don't think Donovan was born yet, or he was very young at the time. We were adamant about them not having social media. Go figure. Like, look what they do now. But we were very adamant about, like, I want to keep them safe from predators, first of all. But secondly, like, as innocent as possible, because we know that the internet at the time was like the Wild West, right? And so we kept them off social media. But then as they started getting older, started getting, in junior high and getting ready to high school, they were like, please, please, we're the only ones that don't have it. And so we talked about it and we said, okay, well, let's weigh out the options, right? And then we said, okay, if they can give us a compelling argument, this is a true story. If they can give us a compelling argument, then we will let them have it. So I talked to the girls and we talked to the girls and we said, you need to think about it. You need to go back in your room. The two of you go back in your room and talk about it. And then it doesn't have to be tonight, but you got to come back with us with a compelling argument on why you need MySpace. That's what we were talking about at the time.
I was trying to remember the name of it.
These son of a bitches came back with a damn near PowerPoint.
It was pretty good.
And it was like, thank you for joining us today.
It was really good.
It was so good. And then
I was really impressed.
I know, me too, because I did presentations in PR for a living, so I was all, this is so good. But of course, you got to, I was like this the whole time. But in my head, I was going, holy shit, this is so good. I'm so proud right now. And then Drew would go, and back to you, Dason. And Dason would go, okay. Because Drew was like, bat, bat, bat. And then Dason was like, and Drew's in the back going, come on. And so, and then Dason would do her little spiel. And I was like, you know what, dude?
They won.
Even if I didn't want to give you my space, I'm going to give you my space just for that. For the presentation and the creativity and the passion. And I think Drew threw in stats. And I was like, holy shit, this is so awesome, right? And they're like, we're not going to fight over it. Because at the time we had one computer. Do you guys remember that? Like you had one computer and you got to take turns. We had this little egg timer. Yeah. And we'd put it on the thing and then when I ding, okay, get off, it's my turn, right? They said, we'll take turns and blah, blah, blah. That lasted like 0.0 seconds because they were always fighting. And I remember Drew would always like advance the time real quick or not give Dason like the full like half an hour or whatever it was. She's like, you didn't do it right. Yes, I did. But anyway, united front, okay? Make sure you guys are always together when you have kids, okay? Okay.
Next topic.
Let's talk about tough times. We talked about being united front with your kids, right? But let's talk about tough times, man. Everything comes up roses when everything is good. The job is good. The money is flowing. The relationship is good. The kids are good. Your family's good. And then shit hits the fan.
Yeah. There's a death in the family.
Yeah.
What then?
Yeah. So tough times when you're in a relationship. Honestly, the most important thing when that happens is how you react to it with each other. Yeah. Independently and with each other. Right. Right? Right. So how you navigate those tough times really matters. Right? So, I mean, it could be, money. Yeah. Right?
Which is pretty common, I'm sure, in a lot of households.
Right? Honestly, that's probably the number one thing. Like, if I were to ask you guys, what's outside of like, I don't know, infidelity, what's the number one reason couples break up?
Yeah, I would say where they money. Fight. It's money.
It's money. Yeah. Right? Is it money or is it not enough money?
There's a difference.
Right? And let me tell you, we have been in that not enough money category a lot. Holy shit. We have gone through it. We have been broke. We have been, before like ATM cards were a thing, we used to have to write checks. Ooh. And you're not getting paid till Friday, but it's Thursday. You have no food in the house. So we'd go to the grocery store and I'd write a check right?
To what bank you said?
No.
I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't because I may or may not still be at that bank. We would write checks, you guys, knowing good goddamn well we had $0. Dolph has $0.
Hey, we are loving parents who are just finding a way to support our family.
We would write a check. We'd go grocery shopping. Now we'd go ham. We'd have like 4 baskets, like right at Food for Less. Who's with me at Food for Less or Winco? Right, it's one of those big chain stores. Everything's cheap, right? And we'd go and
we get plenty of.
Yeah, and we'd write checks knowing that we didn't get paid. Our check wasn't hitting till midnight. So I mean, we would even go to the gas station and hit credit. You know how it says, do you want to run this as debit or credit? We would always say credit because we do. The gas, the amount of gas that we were spending would not hit for 3 days. And that would buy us time to get gas in our car to go to work. And then it would hit, like our bank account, but we'd already gotten paid.
Tough times.
So suffice it to say, we were getting creative because we weren't making enough money. And, when you got kids, it's like you work for free because all your money goes to feeding those little crumb snatchers. Jesus. So we've had some tough times.
Tough times.
We've had tough times with money. We've had tough times with our relationship. We've had tough times with deaths in the family. We've had tough times with like losing friends and all kinds of shit.
All kinds of shit.
But it's how you navigate that and how you stay a team during those tough times. That's what's really important, right? So like if we just go back to money, even though we were tight on funds, I mean, even so that like when our kids, we made sure they played club sports. And if anybody knows about club sports, that shit is not cheap. No. It's insane how much fucking money club sports is. Yeah. I mean, I thought being competitive cheer was expensive. Nothing compared to this. Volleyball, soccer, those the 2 sports that girls did. So very expensive. But we wanted them to play because we wanted them to have a backup, for like a scholarship. Whether it was going to be academics or sports, that was kind of our game plan. We take them to these expensive games.
Tryouts before the
Yeah, but I'm just talking about once they made the teams, then they would travel. And you guys know this. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you got to pay for gas. You got to pay for the hotel. You got to pay for food. And this is like 3-4 day weekends, right? It's a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money. And so there would be times that we would take the kids and they would be all like eating with their little friends, right? I'm going to say it. They're rich white friends, right? We're the one of 2 brown people on the fucking team, right? And they want to eat with their friends. So we would give them money to go eat Carl's or eat at the restaurant.
Wherever.
And we didn't eat. We're like, oh, no, it's good. Or if we ate at a Mexican restaurant, I'm like, please be a Mexican restaurant so we can eat free chips and salsa, shit like that. Because we, times were tough. But we would make those decisions based on that. And the kids never knew. They never knew we were broke. They never knew we were tough times. All kinds of stuff. And they always wondered too, and this is how we were also a united front, even though monetarily we were kind of strapped for cash, we always had this abundance mindset.
Yeah, that was a good way of keeping us moving forward.
Yeah, and keeping us like
thinking about it.
Yeah, trying to get a better job, trying to get a promotion, trying to get more money. Yeah, right. And so we would always say, he'd be like, "Oh man, I don't know. Do we want to put the kids in club sports? Man, it's so tight. How are we gonna do this? It's like $1,500 a season for each kid, and we got 2." And I was like,
"We're rich."
I'd always say, "Huh?"
Yeah.
Because this was my mindset growing up. You come from foster care, and you're like, you're either gonna go down the road of everything sucks and nothing works, or hey man, I'm the richest person in the world, even though I barely have 2 nickels to rub together. So when he met me, I'd always be like, fuck it, let it ride, we're rich, right? And what would happen? The abundance mindset, the universe conspires to give you everything that you ever desired. You just have to believe that it's going to happen. And next thing you know, every time, and to this day, every time I say that, hey, don't worry about it, we're rich, right? Yeah. I mean, and I say it in jest sometimes, and something fucking cool happens, right? I get a job offer. I get a check in the mail I wasn't expecting. Like, it's crazy town.
Yeah. And we would celebrate all of it. I mean, sometimes she'd say, hey, I got like a $70 check from the solar company.
Yeah.
Winning.
Yeah.
Right?
Woo!
Winning.
We're rich, bitches. And he's like, you're so insane. And I was like, all right, let's go out to eat. Right? So anyway, the abundance mindset, you guys, I'm telling you, is golden. If you hang on to that, even if right now and you're watching this and you don't know where your next paycheck is coming from or whatever, if you keep that abundance mindset, just remember the universe is conspiring to give you everything that you ever wanted. But when you keep telling yourself you're broke or you keep telling yourself your life sucks or whatever, you're blocking all the blessings that are going to come to you.
Yeah.
So when we're being a team, we're having that abundance mindset together. We have to do it together because if one is doing negative Nelly and the other one's not, it's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
Okay.
No.
So make sure that you have that abundance mindset.
It's definitely going to get you through the tough times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Abundance mindset.
And that's what a perfect segue of the tough times don't last.
No.
Just remember this.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you're going through, whether it's a money issue, a friendship issue, a parent issue, you're fighting with your parents, you know,
relationship issue.
These tough times, they don't last. They're like waves. I'm going to shout out Val. Val, my therapist. She always tells me, your tough times are like waves, right? Like the ocean. The waves come in and then they roll back out. Right? The waves don't just keep coming. They roll in and they roll out. They roll in and roll. And that's life if you think about it. Right? So when you're a team and you stay a team, right? That when those tough times hit, if you're thinking I have an abundance mindset and okay, it sucks right now, but you know what? It's not gonna last. It's just temporary. This shit is temporary. This heartache or this anger or the sadness, whatever it is, it's not going to last forever. And if you stay a team, you're going to realize that quicker than you normally would.
And you'll climb out of it a lot faster than you think. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then last but not least, you guys.
What is it?
Why are you laughing?
I don't know. Because it looks like you're excited about saying it.
I am.
Yeah.
You have to be your partner's biggest cheerleader and biggest supporter.
There's a difference.
Right? What's the difference?
Well, to me, right, the cheerleader or slash, like the cheerleader is like, you could do it. I know you can. You can get that job interview. That's going to be cake. Like, look at all your experience, blah, 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 right? But the supporter, I believe, is like, let's just say you want to go on this fitness journey. Hey, I'm thinking about losing some weight. Like, you're asking me tips, blah, blah, blah. I would, as a supporter for me, I was like, fuck it, let's do it together. Right?
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'll do it with you.
Yeah.
You know, that I look as a supporter.
Yeah. And that's exactly right. So if you're constantly, like, I look at it like this. I'm Tate's hype man. Hype girl, right? I'm like, you can do this? What are you talking about? I've never done it before. I was thinking about we should do a podcast. I'm all, fuck it, let's do it. We're rich. Let's do it. Right?
And look at us.
I'm like, oh my gosh. In all my spare time, yeah, let's do a podcast. I fucking love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
But you know why? Because I know this was on his bucket list when he turned 50. Not necessarily a podcast, but pushing himself outside of the comfort zone to do public speaking. And this is kind of his version of that. Yeah. So I'm like, dude, let's so do it. And in my mind, I'm going, oh my God, how am I going to have time to do this? And blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then my type, a personality is like, we need to build a studio. We need to do this. We need to do that, blah, blah. Right. But it was for, to be your biggest cheerleader. I know you can do this. You can get over this being shy in front of people, blah, blah, blah. And then me planning out the studio and doing all this, that's me being a supporter for you. See how that works? I'm telling you guys, if you want a solid relationship and you stay a team, good times, bad times, and in the in-between times, but you are always your spouse's, your partner's biggest cheerleader and biggest supporter, you can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
And when those tough times hit, they're going to remember those times. And they're like, you know what? Okay, cool. Like, it's all good. I feel safe with this person. This person's got my back because they were always a cheerleader. And they were a supporter. I mean, for instance, when you did your bodybuilding.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah. So he was like, I think I want to do it. And I'm like, dude, I think you would kill it. You would smash it. And then, of course, my competitive nature, I'm like, dude, you're 6'6". You're going to kill it. All these bodybuilders are 5'5". It's going to be a landslide for you. And then I was like, okay. And then you need the best trainer. And then you need a posing coach. And then when he was getting ready to compete, I'm like, because I always put myself in the other shoes, right? I'm like, if that was me, I would want like a massage. And I'm like, how do you feel about massage? He's never had a massage before, ever.
No.
And he's like, well, I don't know, I don't know. I feel embarrassed. And I'm like, I know, but they're gonna get all the kinks out and it's gonna be so good. I'll get one that travels. So I hired one that traveled to our hotel room the night before the competition. And then after he was done, he was like, that was the best thing ever. But it was my way of supporting him.
Yeah. Big
Right.
time.
And then you go and compete. We were rolling like 20 plus deep, front row. Everybody had bought the VIP tickets, and we were like cheering so loud for him. And there was probably about 800 people in that room, 800 to 1,000 people. And they were like, holy shit, who's in front? And who's this giant guy up here with this big cheerleading section? And that was our version of supporting you and cheering, always cheering you on. So it's not just, your significant other, even though that's what we're talking about. It's when you do this, right? And you're a team and you're a cheerleader and you're a supporter for your other person, your kids watch your example. So now that they're grown, we do the same thing for each other, right? Biggest cheerleader, bigger supporter. It's really fun.
It is fun.
And it's always fun when you win.
I know. That always helps. It's nice to
Always
win.
helps me anyway. I love it. So you
I
guys
want to win.
Jeez, where the fuck did that come from? I'm scared of you. Anything else you want to add?
No, this was so fun.
Yeah, right?
This is fun.
This is fun.
And I enjoy every minute of it because it's with you.
Oh. We're rich, bitches.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let it rip.
We need a t-shirt. Anyway,
Right.
I love this. This is really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm pretty sure we made it a little bit longer today. So baby steps. And we have some really cool topics coming up. One of them being parenting, solely dedicated to parenting.
Solely dedicated to raising 3 crumb snatchers.
Well, just the crumb snatchers in general. Doesn't matter how many you have. You have
Well,
one, you might as well have 30. It's all the same, right? So, but we have some really cool topics coming up. And if there's a topic that you want us to touch base on, please let us know in the comments.
Right.
Send us a DM. We're also on Instagram at AF5Life.
TikTok,
We are on TikTok, and we are on Facebook. And
YouTube,
and Spotify.
and Spotify.
Yeah, and Amazon. Anywhere you get your streaming, that's where this is. But as far as the social media platforms are, that's what they are. So, yes.
One more shout out to Josh and
Josh
Mayo.
and Mayo. Woo!
We love you guys. We appreciate this. This is
Sign
amazing.
Awesome. Very, very cool. Yeah. So I want to leave us with a quote of the day.
Please.
Okay. It's not a famous quote. It's my own quote. We're rich bitches. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go. Don't let anyone dim your light.
Ooh, good one.
That's my thought of the day. That's my recommendation. That's my quote of the day. That's my advice for the day. Whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
Don't let anybody dim your light. Even if they say you're too much, you're too loud, you're too positive, you're too this, you're too that. Don't let them dim your light, because that's them projecting on you. And we see you. We love you guys
We appreciate you guys.
so very much. And yeah, don't let anybody dim your light. And if they do, you tell us and we'll roll up. Yeah? Okay. All right, you guys. That's it for today. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you all. Love you, mean it.
We'll see you guys
next
soon.
week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.